Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So the channel's new, it's all about football betting, growing your betting account, tips and tricks, what I do. It's a very new account, so if you enjoy any of the content, please hit like and subscribe because it really does help me out, especially at the moment where the account is new and we've got barely anyone watching. So if you found this video, you've done well, so thanks. So at the moment we've been doing a challenge where we turn 1,000 into 10,000 all through football betting. We started this just over 2.5 weeks ago. About 2.5 weeks ago we started this. And already the bank has gone from 1,000 to 5.6k in just over two weeks, which is pretty mad. So I wanted to do a quick video on some of my tips and tricks and what you should implement with your betting if you want to improve and get a better win rate and get more money, because who doesn't want more money? So these tips are pretty basic. They are basic, but you need to nail these down in order for success. Because if you don't do these, then you're not going to have much luck and you're going to lose your pot and you'll be back to square one, depositing more money into your account and chasing losses, which we don't want. So the first tip, which I mentioned before in a YouTube short, was make sure you watch every game before you place a bet. Don't get stuck into statistics. Don't do what I used to do. I used to look at stats only. I never used to even watch games. I used to pay for software which had all games live, all in a table, had all shots, corners, etc. And it had a little formula and it showed you if a team was about to score because it was flashing red, whatever. Now, don't get me wrong, this software is good because you can see an overall of everything happening. So you can spot what games look like there's something about to happen. And then if you can find a stream for it or watch it on TV, then fine, that's good. But if you're going purely by stats and then placing bets, that's a no-no. Don't do it. I done it, lost money, it's not good. Because some games, the stats show that one team is completely dominating, right? They've got like 20 shots on target, 10 corners, the other team have got like one shot or whatever. So you lump on that team to score. But if you watched it live, you'll see that the other team are actually counter-attacking really well. Very well, counter-attacking. They might have not got the shots in, but they did still look a threat. A good example of this was actually recently, my own team, West Ham, we played Brighton. Now, if you look at the stats, let me bring them up. You look at this, Brighton had all the possession with 78. West Ham had 22. They had 17 shots, we only had 12. They had 17 corners, which is mad. 17. And we had 4 corners. But look at the result. It was 3-1. That's crazy. But if you watched the game live, like I did, you would have seen that West Ham, every time they attacked, they looked to threat. We had a lot of pace with Bowen and Antonio. And every time we attacked, even though it wasn't often, it looked likely we were going to score. But you wouldn't have known that just by going by the stats. My second tip is make sure you have a staking plan. So if you deposit, let's say £100, right? Don't go straight in with a bet for £90 and then you lose that and then you deposit again, and then, or if you have £100, you do £5 here, then you do £2, then you do £20. It's just all over the place. So I like to stick with, personally, I normally stick to 5 to 10%, which is still quite high, but that's what I do and that works for me. Another tip is think with your brain and your head, not your heart. You need to kind of like take all your emotion out of it. And that's a big one, that is, because a lot of people get too emotional over betting. They get angry, they start launching things, or even when the bet comes in, they celebrate too much, they go crazy, and they're like, right, let's go to the next bet. And they've got this hype, and they're like, all right, I'm going to bet on this, I'm going to bet on that, I'm going to bet on this. And it's just, that's just not the way to go. You got to stay calm throughout. As hard as that is, even if you lose, you just got to think, you know what? I chose the right bet. I watched the stream. It looked like it was going to happen. I placed the bet. It just didn't happen. You're not going to win every bet, so you just move on to the next one. You don't get angry. You just move on to the next one. Don't chase losses and up your stake. Just keep everything the same. And same when you win, because people don't think about that. When you win and you're on a roll, and you're winning, you think, you know what, I'm going to double my stake, I'm going to put all my money on it, and then bang, it all goes. So just think with this, not with this. And that leads on to the next tip, which is don't chase losses, which I mentioned just then. That's the worst thing. If you're on a streak and you lost 3-4 bets in a row, which does happen, it happens to me, don't go finding bets to do which you wouldn't normally do, like you bet on a different market, or you're betting without watching the stream just to try and get your losses back, because man, that's a deep hole. You're just going to keep digging and digging into it, and oh mate, it's not good. Don't do that. You got to find your own strategy and stick with it no matter what. And if you find yourself getting really angry, you're getting quite emotional, you've lost say 3 bets in a row, just turn your phone off, turn your laptop off, go for a walk or play a video game. Just relax and just maybe leave it for a couple of hours, or even leave it to the next day, or even a few days. You know, don't go betting if you're very emotional and you're angry, because it's just not going to work. Another thing is odds. There's quite a lot of YouTube channels on here, right, which kind of gave me the motivation to start this channel. And they post out these daily tips, and I watch these videos, right, and the tips they're sending out are like odds of 1.08, odds of 1.1. I don't know what that is in fractions, right? I don't do with fractions. I do decimals, right? People might select me for that, but I only deal with decimals, right? But they're doing these odds of like 1.1 and 1.13. So if you're putting 100 quid on, you're getting 13 quid back. Like, long term, that's just not going to work. You've got to win 10 bets in a row without losing, or you're doomed, basically. It's just like, don't do that. That's just stupid. And then on the other end, you've got people doing odds of like 100. Now, if you're doing ACCAs with odds of like 110, 120, if you're doing it for just a fun on a Saturday, like a couple of quid, just to make your Saturday a little exciting, it's not a long-term aim of yours to make this into a proper income. It's just a bit of fun with your mates. You might do a little syndicate or whatever, then fine, that's fair enough. But if you're looking at doing betting long term and you want a monthly income from it and a lot of success, you can't be doing these sort of odds. That's just dumb. It's just not going to work. With me personally, I like to compound bet. So the minimum odds I do are usually about 1.4, but I'll compound it. So I do 1.44, sorry. So 1.44. If the bet wins, I bet the next lot, the winnings plus the previous stake, I put that together and do another 1.44. If that comes in, done. Move on to the next and we start from scratch. That's how I do mine. Sometimes I do odds a bit higher if it's in play and I see odds of about, say, 1.8 to 3. That fits with me. That I can do that. That's fine. But anything lower or above these kind of figures, I don't really touch. Most of the time, I don't touch. So another tip, kind of touching on what I said before about these tips to YouTubes and whatnot, is a lot of these tipsters on social media, especially Twitter, they're so-called tipsters, and they use their referral link to get you onto Bet365 or whatever bookie they're using. A lot of people sign up, and what they do, right, they do their bets, especially when they do like these £25 to £1,000 challenge or whatever. But what people don't realise is these tipsters have contracts with these bookies, and they get percentage of the losses from their referrals. So say they have like 10,000 people who have clicked their link, signed up to that bookie following this challenge. They get to, let's say they build up to 300 quid, right? This tipster will purposely put out a tip for this little challenge, and for it to lose, basically. And you might be thinking, what? No, they don't. They do, because that's how they earn their money. Trust me. So when they do these challenges, say they get to £500, the next bet, they'll do odds of like, say, I don't know what sort of odds they deal with, 1.3 to 1.5, maybe even lower. And they'll look at something and they think, right, it doesn't look too obvious, but it's very unlikely to happen. And but the odds are low, so people think, oh, this will happen. It doesn't come in. This tipster will earn a shit ton of money from it. They will, because they earn a percentage of the losses from their referrals. So it helps them out when people lose from their referral link. So don't follow them. Just learn yourself, learn from your mistakes. Don't follow them. Now, my last tip, which I've done for a little while, and I think it does help quite a lot, is make an Excel sheet and write down every single bet you place. So have the date, the match, the market, the odds, the stake, the profit, the result, and write down all your bets for a while, right? So you can actually track your wins and losses and see what's working, what's not working. See what minute you place the bet, like during the match. Is there a certain trend you can spot where your win rate is a lot better, and then you can focus on just that market only? Or if there's a certain thing you're doing, you're betting too early in matches and it's not coming in, then you know you can avoid that. It just makes things a lot clearer, so you can find a strategy which actually works. So if you do this, what I'd suggest is start with like very low stakes, even if it's say £1 per bet, but just do it for a week or two. Don't go crazy like 100 bets a day, but keep it steady. And you'll start to spot trends and you see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I was trying different strategies and then I found one which actually worked for me, and then bang, just stuck with that. I don't change anything. I don't change the odds I do. I know what I like. I know what I do. It brings me great success, gives me a lot of money, and I'll stick with it. But that might not work for you. You might have a different mentality when it comes to watching football and what markets you bet on. So write it down and then you can see a trend and go from there. So yeah, there's a few good tips for you. They are basic, but if you stick with it, it will help massively. Trust me, it will. So this was my first longer video on this channel. So honestly, if you liked what you saw, if it helps you out, please hit like, because it helps massively. This account only has 3 subscribers at the moment. I respect you 3 guys, but we need some more in here. We need some more. And also, comment below what tips you'd think would help other people. What works for you? Let us know below. I will reply to all comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe. We've got loads of content coming. The plan would be, hopefully, is once the channel grows to a decent amount, we can do weekly giveaways. We can give away football shirts, FIFA games, you know what I mean, FIFA video games on PS2, Xbox or whatever. We can hand them out. And then maybe even one day we could do match tickets. That'd be awesome. But we need to grow the channel first. So like, subscribe, comment below, and I will see you in the next one.